what's it like? How does it feel? It feels crazy. I'm really happy that it's finally come to light and that we're able to share it with people, because it takes so much love and care to make a film, and it takes a long time. And in Frances' case, it's taken her 10 years to bring the story to life, so it feels like a great moment to unleash it into the world. I was thrilled, obviously. I was thrilled and really excited to explore this character and bring her to life. And I think the idea was to make her really tangible and human, and not like a kind of an ethereal character from days gone by. So I hope we achieve that. She means a lot of things. I think the idea of this film is to show, a young woman's journey, trying to find her authentic voice and trying to understand what that means and how to operate in the world around her. And I think she represents that, being true to yourself and trying to stand up for what you believe in. She's
Brilliant. I mean, it's such a long process compared to when you're acting in something. You're kind of like done in 6 weeks, and then you go off and work on a whole bunch of different projects. So by the time you come back to it, it feels relatively short. But this has kind of lived with me for so long. It's just so lovely to finally to be here and to kind of have the film interact with people. It feels very special. Yeah, I just think she's such a fascinating person, and she's an introvert like me, and she wrote one of the most beautiful pieces of literature that we have. It's full of passion, and yet she lived this very quiet life, and I just feel like she has something to say also about who we are now, or who young women are now, kind of some things that they're in the middle of working out.
Well, I think he was, he came from very difficult circumstances, very bright guy, got himself to Cambridge, Doctor of Divinity and so forth, but then found himself, having to manage his job and his daughters. And I think it's the tension between being out in the moors, coming from poverty, aspirations, learning French. I think, he instilled in them a kind of, I think he was probably a creative person himself, although he didn't get a chance to really express it. But certainly the girls got the gene, and off they went with it, So I think he had to be strict because he was looking after them like that. But, so a complicated enough character, yeah. Well, she is very special, Frances, yeah, absolutely. And really it's a kind of arrival for her, I think, as well as Emma. I think both of them arrived at the same time, and it's a wonderful thing to see. I thought she wrote a fabulous script. She was very determined in what she did, and she's created something. It's a bit of a standalone piece in itself. It's not a biopic. It's not a biopic. It's a reimagining, really, of the Bronte story, and I think, but also it's a standalone piece in itself. It's got kind of quite an interesting, spooky quality about it, I think.
It was great. Frances wrote like such an incredible dynamic between like Emily and Wakeman, and it was so kind of electric on the page. So yeah, it was an amazing experience. It was a lot. We're still like quite attached at the hip, I feel. It was amazing. I think we were lucky in a way that we did all get to live together, So I think it created a bond between all of us. I sound like such an actor, don't I? I don't know. We really bonded, but we really did. And I think that like there was such an ease between all of us that when it came to actually working, it was sort of like it felt like it was very, very easy.
So Bramwell was sort of the black sheep of the family, fell heavily into sort of alcoholism and opium addiction. in the later part of his life. He was sort of an aspiring writer, but just couldn't really match up to the talents of his sisters. So quite tragic, really, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was great. It was a lot of fun. Most of my scenes are sort of swanning in, being like, "Bring me more rum," and then walking out. So I think I had the best role, really, in terms of didn't have to be very subtle.
It was so much fun. Yeah, I mean, everyone. It was like the whole accents kind of bled onto set actually, and there was just sort of like basically constantly just having to be like, we should stop, which was one of the lines, Ollie's lines from the film, and because it would just, we didn't know how to get out of them once we started. We just continue in accents like all day long.
It varied. Some days were quite warm, and then other days were very wet. Like I remember one time when I got changed at the end of the day, my skin was literally purple from how cold it had been all day. But it's kind of like, you know, it's the way it is with these things. You kind of almost have to embrace it a bit because, you know, that is what they lived through, and like that is the weather up there, and they did wear these crazy outfits and costumes and stuff. Well, not costumes for them, costumes for me. But yeah, no, it was cold, but it was good.
Well, it was a lovely job, brilliant location. We had a very happy time. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
Oh, it's been a real privilege. It's been a labour of love, and we've had such great people to work producerially. We've had such good collaborators. Francis had such a clarity of vision, and our cast have given such wonderful performances. It has been a real privilege to work on the movie, and I can't wait to bring Emily to the big screen, really, and to hopefully re-engage audiences in the cinema as well.